she came home.
Carlyle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line. You ready for this?
Are you? Who will you be, without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlyle is dead. According to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlyle, wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to tie up loose ends and secure the Carlyle legacy. She may be a monster, but you have to admire her due diligence. Carlyle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlyle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlyle keeps a case file on the Constant. Information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Right. Happy hunting, 47. See you on the other side.
Thornbridge Manor. The Carlyle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her 3 adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson, and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, gentlemen.
Private area, sir. Phineas Whitmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle. Please wait.
Mr. Whitmer is here to see Madame Carlyle. You can go right in.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlyle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor. If you take his place, it may be an opportunity to get close to Madame Carlyle.
Huh? I wonder what that was. Ah! Damn. Oh!
I know I oughtn't say anything, but... I'm so relieved you're here. Everything's just so strange. Preparing for Madame's funeral, and then she turns up alive. But then the awful business with her brother Zachary, and all this security. I've never seen a place guarded like this, and I dare say I don't like it at all.
You think I'm letting in a gardener?
This is what I mean. You have to be patted down before you see Madame Carlyle inside.
Oh, by the way, I told Kate about those texts.
What did she say?
Well, I thought she'd be mad at me, but she just thanked me that she understood the position I was in. We had a really good talk about it.
She's a sensible woman. And that stuff from your ex was like manipulation 101.
I know. I guess I thought she was gonna read into them and freak out. Say I must have done something to provoke her.
Shit, man. Caroline really did a number on you.
Listen here, pal. Sir, I'm sorry. This is a restricted... Thank you. I'm glad we don't have a problem.
Gentleman. He gave me his coat and all. Rosie, you need to forget about Patch.
Where's the family? I like to try.
Like Chris. He treated me like shit. All he wanted to do was play his stupid video games, never any romance. I deserve romance.
Along inside. Is everything ready for tomorrow?
I mean, Bram would benefit. Unusual for a butler.
I don't know what you...
Seed. Mr. Fernsby.
That's good. That's good.
You always led by example rather than by words and meaningless gestures. Like hugs of encouragement. Right. I clearly remember when I was five. I tried to see the stairs was up. I was relieved that help had finally arrived. But you went down immediately and said, when a grown-up can do it, so can you. You are 5 and climbing trees is supposed to be your area of...
Muddy prints from high heels. Expensive. Size 6.
If you're dressed like a Detective 47, you might as well act the detective. I suggest you go talk to the butler.
How's everything coming along, Elaine? Mr. Whitmer, are you ready to inspect the crime scene now?
I am.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir. I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlyle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47. Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. I think the crime scene has more clues, 47. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
How's everything coming along, Elaine?
Very well, Mr. Fernsby.
Make sure you focus on your work.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died
Just remembered I
around
went
10
for a stroll
o'clock
behind
last
the
night.
greenhouse.
That means the
last
staff
night.
were off
Maybe
duty.
that's where it is.
And
Or-
Madame
I
Carlyle,
lost
her
Butler.
security, didn't arrive
One you couldn't
until
find
this
in the
morning.
graveyard.
That leaves Madame's family and myself
Now?
as the only
Good idea.
persons here when he died.
Yes.
And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle. Make sure...
This is very useful information, 47.
You focus on your work.
So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe.
Good.
May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
I don't know who you are, and frankly, I don't give a shit. No trespassing beyond this point, sir. I'm glad we speak the same language, sir. Alpha 6, stand by to stand by.
Hello there, sir.
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office.
The 41 guests will attend the funeral tomorrow.
I can't deal with all...
The Fitzpatrick token to Madame Carlyle's daughter.
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions. Who had the other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing. You did make sure she didn't see you give the other one to the butler?
Oh, of course.
Do I know? I'll never get how the... Huh?
I don't believe for a second that Zachary committed suicide. But only just... Hi, Lawrence. How are you holding up?
Having a really bad day.
Me too. I can't believe Zachary's dead.
He sent me here to find a button he believes he lost.
Why don't you just stay here for a while and relax? Looks like you need it. I don't believe for a second that
Okay.
A safe in Madame Carlyle's office. I bet that's where she keeps the file on Arthur Edwards.
On top of everything, Rosie thinks she's in love with young Patrick. I mean, that's a breaking heart happening if I ever saw one.
Life can be tough sometimes.
Alexa back from the dead, a make-believe funeral, a murder mystery. Oh,
How are you today, sir?
Huh? Hey, you! Please stop throwing stuff around, okay? Let's be mature.
You look tanned. I bet Mother spent the last week at her Cyprus estate. Am I right?
I'm not at liberty to say, ma'am.
Oh, come on. I need to know what's going on. This affects me too, you know.
Rebecca Carlyle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer? I do have a lot to see to.
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much. Phil, did you find out that the vote was notarized? But how the hell did that happen?
Check that out, would you?
Nope. We all signed it. I gave it to him in person. He says he got it notarized the very same day. As soon as he got it.
security detail at a staged funeral event tomorrow. That'll be a first for me.
It's not funny at all. Something bad must have happened for Madame Carlyle to pull a stunt like this. She's a great woman. Tough, strong, intelligent. Hello, sir. Okay.
Can you just stand up, please? Hey, she's single, Rebecca, right? What are you doing? You gotta leave right now. Please. Hey, she's single, Rebecca, right? Maybe I should ask her out. Get to know her in a personal way.
You could try. Rosie told me Rebecca has a really cool saying, though. It takes a damn fine man to replace no man at all. So you've got your work cut out for you if you do try. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to imply that you're not fine. You're definitely... Rosie told me Rebecca has a really cool saying, though. It takes a damn fine man to replace no man at all.
Nothing. Okay. So what about that wire? Now I'll cut it. Heavy light. Yes.
Painkillers. Lethal if you use enough of them.
But not the poison used to kill Zachary. Of course, Madame Carlyle doesn't know that. Are you considering to frame the butler, 47? Zachary's diary. This is big. He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident.
The groceries arrived.
Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlyle he did. And 47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings. Unless, of course, you want to do some more detecting, 47?
Elaine says she saw her on the top floor, stroking the door in Alexa's office. I kid you not, she can't
Rosie,
wait to
tell
get
me
her
what you
hands on
did last
corporate
night.
family.
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I spent the evening with Patrick. We met after dinner and I went home at 1 in the morning. He said he needed someone real to talk to. When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure.
He's an idiot. That's what he is.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any strangers outside the house?
No, we saw no one outside. Except Patrick's mother, Emma. We were sitting on the bench behind the greenhouse talking when she came out and we had to hide. You won't tell her about me and Patrick, will you? She'd insist Madame Carlyle fire me. I'm sure of it.
Too right she will. She's always going on about how things will change once she's in charge of Thornbridge Manor.
How are things coming along in Paris? Is everything ready for...
The arranged funeral event tomorrow will take place as planned. No one can know that I am
Gregory
still
Carlyle,
alive.
can you tell
I
me
expect
where
you
you
all
were
to act
yesterday
your part.
evening?
Oh, you're
Last,
wondering about my alibi,
as you all
Mr.
know,
Detective.
I have
Well,
enjoyed
I
time
left
and focus on
Thornbridge
sorting
around
everything out, so
8:30
please
for a pint with
do not
Edward.
disturb me with
I
your
wish I
petty
had
concerns.
quiz night at the
You
end.
are all adults.
On the other hand,
and as
staying
part
here
of
with
the elite,
Zachary, my
you
obnoxious
will
sister, and the
eventually have
wife
to deal with
sporting another one of her
difficult
headaches would
situations
have been
like
a fate
this.
worse than death.
It comes late for most
the,
of you.
the short of it,
but this is a chance for you
Zachary
to
was very
show
much
what you are
alive
made of.
when we left.
That will be
I
all.
stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want to pry from my...
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle. But who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger ball. He's better off dead. Is that all? Not very...
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing, really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
It won't hurt you to relax.
Patrick Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death, but...
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexia used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him. Then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mum. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So,
did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
I'm ready to present my conclusion to Madame Carlyle.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir.
No need to panic.
This is Madame Carlyle's office. Please step inside.
How are you?
Your detective skills have gained you access to the Lion's Den, 47. Now, go claim your reward.
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion. Take a seat, please. Go ahead.
The butler, Mr. Fernsby, killed Zachary.
Fernsby? Oh, you've got that wrong. He would never do such a thing. He is the most loyal man I have ever met.
I found pills in his office that matches the poison that killed your brother. Furthermore, I found Zachary's notebook, half burned, in Mr. Fernsby's fireplace. It showed that Zachary intended to publish a written confession to a murder the two of you committed nearly 50 years ago. The murder of your older brother, Montgomery.
That's outrageous. We did no such thing.
No need to feign innocence. I know a killer when I see one, and my discretion is assured. The papers also described how Mr. Fernsby helped you stage the murder of Montgomery as an accident. I believe he killed Zachary not to be exposed as an accomplice to murder.
Sweet Fernsby. You are wrong, Mr. Whitmer. He did not do it to protect himself. He did it to protect the Carlyle legacy. Mr. Fernsby, like myself, understands that sacrifices must be made to secure stability and prosperity. Mr. Whitmer, I'd appreciate it if your findings never leave this room. I understand Fernsby's actions, and there is no need for them to have more consequences than they already have. Fernsby was very fond of Zachary, and I am sure his decision will haunt him to the day he dies. About your reward, have you considered an amount?
I want the file you have on Arthur Edwards.
Arthur Edwards, the Constant. But that must mean you're... I expected you'd show up. But you're not here to kill me. If you were, you would have already. The enemy of my enemy, I suppose. You can have it. You earned it. file you want is in the safe. Good hunting. I need some privacy. Thank you.
Please stay back.
Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured. Time to take care of Madame Carlyle.
Not that I know of, no.
I need to keep an eye out, you know. Stay on top of things like that.
Madame Carlyle wants to inspect the arrangements for the staged funeral tomorrow. What's the delay?
It's the birds. They're making a racket, droppings everywhere. The Undertaker wants them gone before he'll see Madame Carlyle. He's in a right state. So, unless you want to take on the birds, I suggest you stay clear of him.
Oh, no, my aim's horrible.
Madame Carlyle is still going ahead with her staged funeral tomorrow, and she wants to inspect the arrangements. How about it, 47? You feel up to giving her the grand tour of her final resting place?
Safer for everyone if I just wait here till he says he's ready for Madame.
That really scared me.
Maybe any other day for you, but for me this is highly irregular.
Just doing my job, sir.
You'd think Madame Carlyle before in my services. I'd never have accepted to be part of this. Money isn't everything. Finally, the birds are gone. Just run through everything before calling Madame Carlyle down.
ready to show Madame Carlyle the funeral arrangements.
You got rid of the birds?
Yes.
Perfect. I'll let her know. Mr. Parsons, I think you are coming on a little too strong, mister.
Mr. Parsons is ready to see Madame Carlyle.
Well, I suppose the grim disposition is understandable.
Well done, 47. Madame Carlyle is on her way. I wonder how she will like her final resting ground.
Mr. Parsons, I don't like to be kept waiting. I trust we can be efficient now I'm here.
I can be very efficient, Madame Carlyle.
What's that picture of me doing here? What an awful idea. I want it removed before the ceremony tomorrow. I must say I don't care much for the choice of flowers either. I need a moment to consider what I want. What's that podium? I find that having family members do the eulogy is more often than not a toe-cringing affair. I've never understood the need to publicly display grief. A person died. Most natural thing in the world. No need to make an emotional spectacle of it. I hope you haven't planned for one of those.
No, I prefer to keep it simple.
And the gravestone. Granite. Solid. No fuss. I like it. Well done, Mr. Parsons. I approve.
Yes, it will mark your grave beautifully.
So, to sum up, I expect you to remove my picture from the memorial. That was an absolutely horrendous idea. Very unfit for these historical surroundings. This is my ancestral burial ground.
What? Mission complete. Well done, 47.
Mr. Parsons?
Don't respond, just listen. Diana can't help you now. You need to find Olivia. She will know what to do. I wish there had been more time.
And then there were none. Thank you, Miss Burnwood. Now, it's my turn.
Stay down. Boss wants you alive.
Yeah? How about now?
Over here! Cover me!
Walk away!
Or what? You gonna take us all on?
Don't. Tell the Constant to start running!
You think you've won? 47 is out there. And 47 never misses his mark.
Neither do you, Miss Burnwood. That's what makes you valuable.
You're delusional. You think I would betray 47?
Trust me, you owe him nothing.
What is this?
I told you we could help each other, and I meant it. I look forward to your call.
Gray is gone. Go to Berlin and stay out of sight. We're all that's left now.